Yo, what is up, doggies? It's your boy Beanie Colon, and today I'd like to make a quick little video on the topic of addiction. I feel this is probably a pretty important topic to discuss because the majority of my YouTube channel is about drugs. Now, in my opinion, I think the topic of addiction is much greater than just drugs, as I believe you can get addicted to just about anything. But the thing is, drugs are usually a more harmful thing to get addicted to. And while drug addictions are more bad than other addictions, I honestly think all addictions are bad. Like, even being addicted to working out or addicted to making YouTube videos or whatever, like, while those addictions are productive, it's still dangerous if you're addicted to anything. Because, I mean, this world is just so goddamn large. There's so many different people you can interact with and so many different experiences you can encounter. Like, there's just a lot of shit to do in life. And if you're just doing the same shit over and over again, regardless if it's productive or not, like, it's still not a healthy way to live your life. Now, don't get me wrong, you should still be disciplined and you should have shit that you work on each day, every day that, you know, you get better and better at. But the point is, anything in excess is bad. Everything in moderation, doggies. You know what I mean? Now, the main topic I'd like to discuss in this video is weed addiction, because I know most of the people that are watching me are probably like 16 or 17, and y'all probably smoking weed every day, and y'all are also probably denying that you're addicted to it. Now, I mean, no judgment, I was in the exact same mindset as y'all when I was like 16 or 17, and honestly, it was the highlight of my life. Like, when I could smoke weed every day and not recognize there was a problem, like, that shit was lit as fuck. But eventually, you're gonna realize that it is a bit of a problem. Like, you're doing it every single day, eventually it just gets boring. Now, the real question is, how negative is a weed addiction? Because, I mean, you can smoke weed every day and still get your shit done and still live a happy life, and also smoking weed every day and then you go a day without weed, like, you're not gonna have any withdrawals or anything, but, like, let's be honest, you are gonna be jonesing for some marijuana. And while I understand that it feels like weed just kind of makes everything better and there's really no downsides to it, so, like, why would you not smoke it? But the thing is, if weed is making everything better, then by that logic, everything is worse without weed, which is pretty clearly not a good mindset to have. And trust me, dogs, I get that life ain't easy. I get that life kind of sucks sometimes, and weed really just helps you bring you out of that. You know, it makes life just brighter. It makes you feel giddy. Like, it gives you that fucking warm feeling inside. Like, it is a great drug. Like, don't get me wrong. Y'all really just gotta get hip to the motto of everything in moderation. You know, like donuts, they're delicious, but if you eat 5 or 6 of them every day, you're gonna be a fat piece of shit. So, you know, if you're smoking weed like 4 or 5 times a day, you're gonna be a fucking loser. And I already know your fucking denial-ass brains wants to think of, like, rich, famous people that smoke weed every day. Like, oh, look at Snoop Dogg, look at Seth Rogen, look at Joe Rogan, you know, all these people are famous and they smoke weed every day. Yeah, that is true, but those people are fucking outliers. Like, trust me, once you get to, like, your 20s and shit, you'll see your friends that smoke weed all the time every day. They're still just sitting in their basement smoking weed every day with the only thing to look forward to is the new fucking Rick and Morty episode. Like, trust me, dog, it is not the best life path to go down. And again, I am not hating on people that smoke weed every day. Shit, to be completely honest, I smoke weed every day, but I mean, at this point, I like to save it until, like, nighttime to smoke. Like, I'll smoke at, like, 11 after I get all my shit done, and I still think I have a problem, but I think the problem's not quite as bad. But I think it's very important for y'all that are, like, 16 or 17 watching this video or smoking weed daily to quit that shit right now, or at least try to slow it down, because right now, you're at a fucking developing age. Like, your brain is still developing. If y'all go through your teenage years being addicted to weed, like, it's gonna be a lot harder to quit that shit once you're older. And trust me, I know from experience. Like, your teenage years is really when you're figuring out your passions and, like, what you want to work towards and, you know, just shit like that. And if in your teenage years you find what makes you happy is just smoking weed, it's gonna be kind of hard to find, you know, new hobbies and productive passions for when you're, like, in your 20s and, you know, you're trying to actually figure shit out. And I already know y'all are thinking, well, you know, I'm young, so, you know, while I'm young, I just want to have the most fun as possible because, you know, once I'm older, I'm gonna have to settle down. You know, that's what I used to think, but, you know, that's just not how it works, bro. You ain't gonna just wake up one day and think, hey, you know what, I'm gonna just stop smoking weed, I'm gonna just only start grinding, you know, I'm gonna just start being productive. Like, it's a slow process, bro. You gotta work towards it. Honestly, the best advice I could give y'all is you really just need to look at yourself and think, do I want to be a lazy piece of shit and just smoke weed all day and just consume whatever instant pleasures I can find? Or do you want to actually work through the hard parts of life, you know, the stressful parts, the boring parts, and come out on top and actually become someone who's worth something? And if you really think about it, the hard, stressful parts of life really just aren't that hard. Like, doing your fucking schoolwork or going to the gym, like, yeah, it sounds boring and it's kind of hard to do when you have all these other options that are a lot more fun, but, like, really, dog, you can't do your fucking homework? Like, how hard is it to just sit down for, like, an hour and do your fucking homework? It's not hard. What works for me to, start doing shit that I don't want to do is just in my head, I just tell myself, like, what am I going to be, a fucking loser? What am I going to just be a bitch and just sit here and do nothing? Like, no, I'm not. I'm going to actually fucking do my work. I'm going to actually work out. I'm actually going to do shit to improve my life. Now, I'm not saying you got to be grinding just 24/7 because, like, I mean, humans just kind of weren't built for that shit, especially in this era where, everyone's using like TikTok and shit like that. Like, I feel like our attention spans are just so low. It's a lot harder for people to actually focus up and do one thing. And especially if that one thing isn't really like enjoyable. It's just something that you need to do. But guess what, doggies? Life ain't supposed to be easy. If it was super easy and, you could just get anything you wanted, it wouldn't be fun. That's why every video game, has some challenges to it. What I'm saying, doggies, is life's a fucking video game, and, we create our own reality, and the best parts of life, they ain't easy to achieve, and it's supposed to be that way. And I know I'm getting kind of off topic on the main idea of addiction, addiction to weed, but, the thing is, weed just makes life easier, and life ain't supposed to be easy, dogs. It's the fucking yin and the yang, bro. It's fucking Buddhism shit. Like, it's all legit, bro. Like, you need the pain to have the pleasure, bro. Like, the greatest feelings in this world is when you achieve something that wasn't easy to achieve. Like, if you're studying for a big test and you study every single day and then you finally get, like, an A on that test, it's gonna feel very fucking good. And I'm not saying that y'all need to, just lock into schoolwork no matter what, because I get that school isn't for everyone, but, like, dog, you gotta find a passion, you gotta find a hobby, like, get good at sports, get good at creating shit, just get good at something, dog. Like, honestly, everyone's got potential to basically do whatever the fuck they want. Like really, there's no dream that's too big. Like, have a dream and work at that shit, dog. And, to bring it back to weed addiction, I feel like having a weed addiction makes it kind of harder to, find a passion and to work at it every day, because without weed, life would just be a lot more boring. But the thing is, it needs to be boring, because when it's boring, that's when you start doing shit, that's when you start working on shit that, might still be boring, but it has a good outcome. But when you can just smoke weed to escape the boredom, it's a lot easier to just be a lazy piece of shit that's unproductive, because, even if you're not doing anything productive, you're still going to be fried off that za, and, you're just going to be chilling. But again, bro, you need the hard times to, motivate you to do hard shit, and, I just feel like weed just kind of makes you more of a bitch. I can't lie. But yeah, again, weed definitely, it has its place in this world, and I don't want to hate on it. Like, it is fun as hell. It'll give you interesting thoughts, and it's low-key on that spiritual shit. But again, doggies, just everything in moderation. You gotta be very careful with weed, especially if you're at a younger age, because I feel like it's very easy to build up habits when you're younger that are a lot harder to get out of once you become older. And that's just from my own experience, and, like, I really want to get that message out there, because if you're younger smoking weed every day, like, dog, please, bro, just stop or slow it down for your own good. And on top of that, weed itself is just a lot more fun when you don't smoke it all the time. Like, when you smoke it, like once a week, which I'll be honest, I'm too addicted to even do that. But if you did smoke it once a week, like, it feels like an entirely new drug. Like, the tolerance is no joke, bro. Like, it really loses its magic. But if you keep it to, like, a sometimes thing, it really is great. Like, it feels like an entirely new drug, and you can still focus on other parts of your life that make you happy. Like, you just don't want to use weed as a crutch. It's basically the main message I'm trying to get out there. I don't really know, doggies. These are just some thoughts that I wish I would have told my younger self. So, like, I'm kind of trying to be like a father to y'all, give y'all that good advice. So, just consider what I'm saying, doggies, and just try to start thriving. I could ramble about this topic for like hours, but I'm sure you guys are getting the message I'm throwing down. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope maybe, you got some positive takeaways from this video. Maybe I motivated y'all a little bit, but regardless, thank you for watching. And as always, peace out, doggies.